According to the NAR Code of Ethics and Arbitration Manual, the due process requirement, after all, requires nothing more than a fair and diligent search for the truth, with an opportunity for all facts to be gathered, all views to be heard, all defenses to be raised, and all prejudice of bias to be expunged. In short, due process is about fairness and being treated equally throughout the entire professional standards process. There is no preferential treatment. Everyone deserves the same respect. Due process mandates that hearings are held in a uniform manner, which means associations follow the same procedures each time they process an ethics complaint or a request for arbitration. Consistency brings integrity to the process. Hearings conducted at the association are very similar to hearings before a court of law. Let's compare the players in a professional standards case with that of a court. In professional standards, the complainant is the one who files the ethics complaint or the request for arbitration, similar to a plaintiff in a court setting. The respondent, on the other hand, is the person for whom the ethics complaint or request for arbitration is filed against, the defendant. The hearing panel's role is similar to a jury, but the hearing panel has the right to question the parties and witnesses to gather and clarify information. The board of directors serves as the appellant body. It is the board of directors who serves as the association's safety valve. Their job is to ensure that you are treated fairly, correct any errors that may occur, and to protect your due process rights.
But what are those rights? As a complainant and as a respondent, you have the right to receive proper notice. You have the right to know when and where the hearing will be held. The respondent will be allotted a specified amount of time to prepare his or her defense and respond to the allegations of misconduct or to the issues that are raised in a commission dispute. You have the right to challenge tribunal members. You will be given the opportunity to challenge the hearing panels and/or the board of directors in subsequent appeals or procedural reviews. If you challenge a panelist, you must explain your reason for the challenge. If your reason is deemed sufficient to support your challenge, the individual will not be appointed to the tribunal.
You have the right to be represented by legal counsel. If you choose legal counsel, you're responsible for your own legal fees, even if the other party is found in violation of the Code of Ethics or if you win in arbitration. If you intend to be represented by legal counsel, it's important to notify your association and the other party within the time specified by the association to avoid delays. You have the right to present evidence and testimony on your behalf. If you decide to submit additional evidence at the hearing that is not included in your original complaint, request for arbitration or response, keep in mind that the hearing panel chair must offer the other party time to prepare for any additional evidence that is presented during the hearing. This may result in the hearing being recessed for a short time. However, if the other party requires more time, the hearing may reconvene on another day or time. Always comply with the board's request to provide the names of the witnesses you intend to bring in advance. Failure to do so could waive your right to bring these individuals to hearing. The hearing chair who conducts the hearing will rule on the relevance of evidence and testimony. Character witnesses who have nothing to do with the transaction may not be permitted to testify.
Finally, you have the right to appeal. The appeal process is automatically built into the professional standards process. You can appeal the grievance committee's decision to dismiss your ethics complaint or arbitration request. At the hearing stage, for example, the respondent in an ethics case can appeal the hearing panel's decision or findings of fact for the following: the misapplication or misinterpretation of an article or articles of the code, procedural deficiency or any lack of due process, and the discipline recommended by the hearing panel. On the other hand, the complainant can only appeal on the grounds of procedural deficiency or for lack of due process in an ethics case and cannot appeal the hearing panel's decision as to whether the respondent is found in violation or not. In arbitration, both the complainant and the respondent are only permitted to file for procedural review citing alleged procedural deficiencies or other irregularities the party believes constitute a deprivation of due process. There is no appeal of the arbitration award. As we discussed earlier, There is no rationale or finding of fact that accompanies an arbitration award for which there can be no basis on which to file an appeal of the decision. More importantly, understand that the members of your local grievance and professional standards committees and the board of directors take professional standards very seriously. They recognize that Realtor membership is a valuable private property right and will do everything within their power to protect that right. That's why due process plays such an integral part in the Code of Ethics and Arbitration process.
Here's a tip. If you find yourself as a complainant or respondent in a professional standards matter, please read the instructions the association sends you carefully. It could avoid postponements and help the process to run smoothly. Orchestrating a hearing and trying to coordinate the schedules of complainants, respondents, and legal counsel is not easy. One postponement for not notifying the association and the other party in advance that you plan to be represented by legal counsel could possibly set a hearing date back for a few months. If you have any questions, association staff is available to answer those questions. But remember, staff must remain neutral and is precluded from taking sides. And here's our last quiz in the program. True or false? Due process is all about being treated fairly and equally. The answer is true. True or false? Due process mandates that hearings before the association must be held in a uniform manner. That is true. True or false? Parties to a hearing before a tribunal of the board can bring witnesses to testify on their behalf as long as they provide the association and the other party to the hearing proper notice. The answer is true. And last question, true or false? A party to arbitration can appeal the arbitrator's award if dissatisfied with the outcome. False. There is no appeal process in arbitration. Parties can only file for a procedural review if the party believes there was lack of due process.
In May of 1908, the Chicago Tribune editorialized the following: "The real estate dealer is no longer a mere speculator in land or buildings. His activities have increased until he is recognized among the influential forces in the community. His success is often gained by knowledge of many matters not at first counted as necessary parts of the business, which in recent years has attracted some of the best men, and I would like to add, women, in the community."
In William North's article, The Realtor's Code of Ethics, A Gift of Vision, he states, perhaps one of the most extraordinary aspects of the Code of Ethics is that it was developed and adopted by real estate brokers voluntarily and not driven by government forces or marketplace demands. It takes a rare individual who is willing to embrace and live by the Code's principles, duties, and ideals. That individual is a Realtor.
We wish you all the best in your chosen profession as a professional Realtor.
Thank you for joining us.